We're going to start with the supine position for lumbar traction. The table splits up here, so essentially that's where we want to lay down our patient, so we split in the right position, which is actually going to be in the lumbar spine. So we have our patients sit close to that position, so they're going to put their gluteals on either side of that. The goal of this is to use the belting position where it's going to wrap around and catch their iliac crest or their ilia. It's a little bit different for different patients, and so you want to make sure that you palpate to find that position. There's a non-stick surface here on the belt that helps to grab that particular area. So when we are belting them properly, again, it's going to increase the amount of surface area. As it pulls tension on the patient, it's going to pull across their entire pelvis, and not necessarily just from those few points that some of the older belting systems would pull on. So the first thing we do is set a table height relative to the position that's going to be most comfortable for our patients to get on. So we don't want them getting up on their toes to sit on the table, and we don't want to have them lean down too far. So essentially it's just about the level below their hands, so they are going to sit down slightly. So we're going to have the patient sit facing the clinician, and you're going to scoot down here just a little bit further. Good. As they lie back, depending on your patient condition and whether or not they need some transfer assistance, make sure that, again, that they're very comfortable, and we support them when they're going into that down supine position if in fact they do need that assistance. So as we start to lay the patients down, usually in side-lying position, so we can help support them, and then they need to make sure that they swing their legs around and they lie perfectly flat. Ready? And make sure you swing those legs around. So again, as you can see, this is where the table is going to split. Here is the stick surface. Her iliac crests are right at this position here, so that's about where we would like the belt position. So as we wrap it around, it will catch that iliac crest. So again, it gives an increased surface area for it to pull on, and then that way the belt won't slip down as we start to apply the traction. It's a hook and loop, so one side is going to be the holding or the tension position. It's helpful if you ask patients to take a breath in, and as they inhale, their diaphragm goes down, fills their abdominal cavity, but as they exhale, the diaphragm moves up and will decrease the amount of airspace in the belly. Go ahead and take a breath in and out. So we want to make sure that we get nice tension across that belt. We'd like it to come across as straight as possible. You'll find that all patients certainly have different shapes to them, and the key factor here is to make sure that we grab that iliac crest, so as the belting system starts to apply tension, that's really what it's going to hold on to. Otherwise, the belting system can slide down a little bit if we add too much tension. Next thing we do is we want to attach this strapping system in the posterior aspect, in the lumbar region. The belting system is going to be attached to the mechanism that the traction device is going to pull on. To the front or to the anterior, it's going to attach to this belting system. So we want to make sure that we get a nice snug fit with that as well. So we've got 2 D-rings that this will slide through. The belt is movable underneath the person, so as you continue to strap down the patient into the belting system, we want to make sure that that center, that O-ring, is going to be in the center about at the level of their navel. So you're capable of sliding that back and forth to make sure it's going to fall within that center position. So we do want it to be fairly snug. As we start to apply tension, it's going to grab onto this front ring, but again, keep in mind that as we attach the belting system to the person, it's also going to catch on the posterior aspect, which that way we're pulling from all directions to the anterior and the posterior, again having greater surface area, making it more comfortable and applying less tension that's required to the patient. We have a thoracic restraint system that we like to use with patients. It keeps them from moving downward, especially when we're using those higher intensities during decompression or more chronic types of cases. when we have those higher intensities, there's more of an opportunity for the patient to slide, and we don't want the patient to slide. We want to make sure that they're well supported. So we have two options in securing the patient to the thorax piece of the table. One is going to be this strapping system. You'll notice that it's actually going to come across, and the reason for that is it creates a cone. As we initially start to produce tension and pull on the person, they may slip a little bit, and that's okay because we're actually going to catch them within that cone, and that's why the belting system for the DTS table was designed that way, so eventually it would pick up enough tension. The other benefit of the processing system in the DTS is it regulates for that, so it will still build up the proper amount of tension as it's preset for your protocols and your parameters. So they're going to go underneath the axilla here. We're usually looking for about 2 inches underneath the axilla. We just need to make sure that we can get it across their chest and be cognizant of breast tissue and make sure that we still get a snug fit. Again, keeping in mind that it does go at an angle. We do have a top and a bottom as well. We use that bottom piece to create the snug position and to hold that position. We ask the patients again to take a breath in and then out. And we just need to make sure that it's snug and it's not too far up the axilla. The other option is to use the axilla pieces, and these posts are designed to go in the axillary region. That way, again, if the patient starts to slide down, that these axilla posts will actually be caught within the axillary region of the patient, similar to when we're using crutches as an assisted device. We can actually apply a little bit of tension, and it further keeps the patient from sliding down on the thoracic piece.